Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2022 Jeep Wrangler 4xe. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. Now, you might be asking, 4xe, what's that mean? What does the E stand for? Surprisingly, eggs. No, I'm kidding, it stands for electric. It stands for electric because this is a hybrid system on the Jeep Wrangler, and it can get up to 21 miles of range on pure electricity, which is pretty impressive, especially for a Wrangler. I'm excited to talk about that a little bit more when we move to the driving segment, but first, let's do an overview of this. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Brown Daub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Stellantis vehicle needs, you can visit Brown Daub at their website, browndaub.net. Starting out up front on the 4xe, at first glance, this is a regular Wrangler Sahara. There's really not that much of a difference between this and a traditional gas engine, barring the blue tow hooks up front, some other blue accents around the exterior, and the charge port door if you're keenly looking at it. Now, if you're not though, this blends into the rest of the Wrangler lineup and you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference, which I personally think is the absolute best for a hybrid or a fully electric vehicle. I think it should just slot into the lineup of trims. It shouldn't be this weird, funky, different looking one. I like the subtle approach that Jeep has taken with the 4xe. It's a pretty standard grille up here. You'll have your regular LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, turn signals right here, and then you'll have your fog lights down there. Like I mentioned, the only real difference up front here between this and a regular Sahara is these blue tow hooks, which I think actually contrast pretty well. Now, this is still a hybrid, as I mentioned, so it does have a traditional gas engine. The powertrain on this is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, which makes a surprising 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. And that is, of course, tied into an electric battery, which, as I mentioned before, gets about 21 miles of range strictly on electricity. Moving to the profile of the 4xe, starting here with the wheels and tires, you'll get the traditional black 20-inch wheels that you'd get on the regular Sahara, except you can see the small Wrangler Easter egg at the bottom is blue instead of silver or red like it normally is. And as we continue up here, you'll have a blue Wrangler Unlimited sticker, and the back of the embossment on the Jeep logo is also blue, as well as the trail-rated 4x4 badge right there. That's a neat little touch. And then up here, you actually have your charge port door, which is like not cheap. It's not plastic, it's definitely some sort of metal, which I think is cool. You just tap that and then you would plug in. You could take that out and then plug in for your charging. That's really neat. I like that. Again, very subtle, and I think it blends in really well to the rest of the Wrangler's design, and you'd have to be looking for it to really spot it. If we come over here, I'm gonna eat my hat because I just reviewed a Nissan Armada today, and it's probably either already come out or it's not coming out for a while. I think these videos are gonna be pretty separate, but I said in that I was surprised by how square the side view mirrors were, and I've never seen that on another vehicle. Well, here it is on the Wrangler. I definitely still think the vertical was a little higher on the Armada, which made for some weird side view mirrors, but you can get those here and they are heated on this as well, which is nice. Down here you do have keyless entry, and then if we continue down there, you'll have another little blue Wrangler accent, and then the rear tow hitch right there is also blue. As you can see from the back, pretty standard Wrangler. You'll get your backup camera incorporated right here, but you will also have your 4xe badge there, which is nice to see. And then if we open this up, you can open the lower portion just like you would on any other Wrangler. I guess I'll go through some of the basic Wrangler features in case this is the first time maybe you're interested in a Wrangler because you wanted an electric vehicle or a hybrid vehicle, and so you've never really looked at the Wrangler before. So I'll go over some of the features with this. Even though I have touched upon it in other videos, this does open up to give you a pretty open space back here. Obviously, this just arrived at the dealership, so they still have some of the plastic back here, and it looks like the charger hookup this comes with. You'll have a 12-volt out here in case you wanted to do some maybe barbecue and tailgating, you could do that. And you have a huge Alpine subwoofer back here. That looks to be about a 12-inch, which is pretty neat. And you can drop your second row seats if you'd like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here, close this. This is a little bit of a process to close, and then lock that back into place, and there you go. All right, let's take a quick look at the interior. Now, this is a standard Wrangler interior, and I've talked pretty extensively in the past about the interior on the Wrangler, so I'm just going to do a quick breeze through of some of the newer features and some of the big important ones for a traditional Wrangler overview. If we head down here, there's 3 new buttons right here: your hybrid mode, your fully electric mode, and your e-save mode. If we hit e-save, for example, what it's going to do is it's going to save that battery charge for later, and it's going to switch back to the traditional gas engine, and it's only going to drive on that. And so you can put it in hybrid, where it basically decides when to use it, or fully electric, and that's going to put it right into electric mode for you. Of course, you'll have your lighting controls there, your mirror controls, and then your lock and unlock. The doors are very comfortable in the Sahara Edition. You have nice leather to rest here, and this is a softer touch material on the armrest here. If we move over to the screen, the infotainment is really quick. I love Uconnect. You'll get heated seats, a heated steering wheel in here. Unfortunately, no option for cooled seats. I don't think that's an option at all on the Wranglers, but you'll still get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have access to your backup camera from here. Very intuitive system. Very crisp resolution backup camera, I might add, with guiding lines. That's really cool. And then you'll have some nice stitching along the dash here. And if we go down here, you'll have your climate controls, physical buttons for those heated seats and steering wheel. And then this is a new button as well. This is the max regeneration button. So this is for the regenerative battery on here. That's really cool. So you can turn that on and off if you want. And then down here, you'll have your buttons for the window controls. Then you'll have USB, USB-C auxiliary, and a 12-volt. This is an automatic transmission. As far as I know, this is only available in an automatic for the electric variant. I don't believe they do a manual for this one. And then you'll have your 4-wheel drive selector right here, again finished in nice leather. Same thing with the e-brake right here. I like that it is a physical parking brake. It's not an electric one. I guess you'd think this would have an electric one, but I like that it's a physical parking brake. And then up here, this is fun. I was trying to figure out what this was right here, because it's a row of lights. After doing some research, I found this is actually your charge indication light. So if you are charging the 4xe, you plug it in, and you're not in the vehicle, this light will illuminate and tell you how far along you are in the charging process, just like a phone battery would, for example. So that's another 4xe exclusive feature in there. But for the most part, it's pretty standard. It's a normal Jeep Wrangler with normal Jeep Wrangler functionality, and that's fine for me. The rear seats are nothing to write home about, though you do get climate vents, window controls, USBs, and a household power outlet back here, which is always nice to see. So I just filmed a whole driving segment, and I don't think any of it came through because I had the roof off. So we're gonna have to film a second driving segment. So let's talk about this electric system here. So I floored it, and it's okay, it's fast. Like, as you can see, it jolts you a little bit, but it's not nearly as fast as something like a Tesla or the Mach-E is. And obviously that's to be expected because it is a hybrid system. It's not fully electric, but it's really neat to be able to drive on fully electric power if you need to. You know, let's say you're running low on gas or whatever, or if you just need to do a little jaunt around town, you can get this Jeep and you can drive 20 miles, you know, to the shops and back on fully electric power, and then you can come back and you haven't really spent anything on gas, and electricity is far cheaper than gas is, obviously right now especially, and that's really useful. This is very smooth. It handles well, it handles like a Jeep Wrangler does. It's boxy. All right, we're coming to a big straightaway here. I'm gonna floor it. Boom. Yeah, it really lags a little bit. Okay, see, the engine kicks in and boom, we're flying. But it definitely does take a little bit. It also has the Jeep Wrangler classic interior wind noise, because these panels do not seal obviously as well as a traditional metal roof does over a car. And you know, this is good though. I mean, basically Jeep people know what they're looking for at this point, and so if this is kind of what you're looking for, I would definitely go for it. It's a fun hybrid system. I don't think it takes any of the quote-unquote manliness out of driving a Jeep, because it saves you money, and it's a neat party trick to be able to drive this on electric power, and it's so silent. It's so neat. Well, I mean, obviously it's not silent when you get up and go on the road because of the wind noise, but when you're in a parking lot, ooh, it creeps along. The Wrangler creeps. If I was gonna get a Wrangler for my money, this would be the one. Or a Gladiator. I know Gladiators are ugly, but I mean, a pickup truck bed has a lot of practicality. All right, guys, that's gonna conclude my review of this 4xe. I really hope you enjoyed. And before I go, I'd like to be able to read some scripture for you guys. My hope in doing this is that for those who already have a relationship with Jesus Christ, these scriptures can affirm that and help them desire to pursue an even closer relationship. And for those who don't know Jesus, well, I hope that I can point you in the right direction of following him. I know it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Today I'm going to read from Psalm 54. This is a shorter psalm of King David, and I think I'm going to read the whole thing. O God, save me by your name, and vindicate me by your might. O God, hear my prayer. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen against me. Ruthless men seek my life. They do not set God before themselves. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is the upholder of my life. He will return the evil to my enemies. In your faithfulness, put an end to them. With a free will offering, I will sacrifice to you. I will give thanks to your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me from every trouble, and my eye has looked in triumph on my enemies. So in this verse, David is crying for help. And I think a lot of the time we can ask God for stuff, and we ask him for stuff so often that it feels like a one-way road. But in this, David's also praising God, because in his time of trial, even though he's asking for help, he knows God will deliver him, because ultimately he's on the side of the Lord. And so that's a pretty cool feeling. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care.